Very good morning to all. This side Gagan Thakral from Krishna Engineering College. Today we will discuss about lecture 5 of web technologies. In this lecture, basic terminologies are object. Object is a real world entity which exists in this real world is known as object, or in other words we can say that anything which exists in this world is known as object. Example: pen, pencil, chair. Class is a collection of objects on the basis of common properties is known as class is a user defined data type. When we collect objects into a single unit on the basis of some common properties, then it is known as class. Command line arguments. Command line arguments are those arguments which are passed with the help of Java interpreter, is known as command line arguments. There are also runtime arguments which are passed after the execution of program, is known as runtime arguments. How to use multiple classes in Java. Now we will discuss about a program. In that program we are using more than one class and how to implement this is done in this program. First of all, we create a classroom. In this program, what we want to do, we want to create a data structure for room class which contains length and breadth, and we want to calculate the area of room using multiple classes. Now, first of all, we create a classroom. Definition of classroom is started with the help of curly braces. Now we will take two variables, length and breadth, for integer type variables, to accept the length and breadth of the room. Now we will create a method void get data which accepts two arguments. Both are integer type arguments, int x and int y. X we want to assign to the length and y we want to assign to the breadth. And definition of this method is closed here with the help of closing curly braces. Now we write a function to calculate the area of room. The return type of this method is also void, and the definition of this method started with the help of curly braces. And what we do, we multiply length and breadth and store into a variable r the result. And after that we will print system.out.println the area of room is and the variable r length to display the area of a room. Now we close the definition of area method, and also we close the definition of class room. Now we create a new class which contains main method, and in this class we want to access the classroom. Now the name of this class is room area. What we do now, in the definition of this class, first of all we define main method, public static void main, and we pass a string type array in the main method. Now definition of main method starts with the help of curly braces, and we create object of classroom. In room area class we want to access classroom, then it is mandatory to define object of that class which we want to access here. So object of room class is created as obj, and it is initialized with the new keyword to assign the memory this object, and then we write the class name as method name. Now we call get data function of classroom with the help of obj object. Obj dot get data, we pass two argument 10 comma 20. 10 is assigned to the length and 20 is assigned to the breadth. Now we calculate object dot area. Object belongs to room class and it will call the area function of a room class, and it will multiply length and breadth 10 into 20 200. So output this will generate output 200. Okay, now we will discuss how to run this program in Java. First of all, we write this code into a notepad file as it is, and then we save this program as main class name. Main class is that class which contains main method. In this program there are two class, room and room area. Room area class contains main method, so room area class is main class. We save this program as room area dot java in the jdk of bin, and for execution we open command prompt, and in command prompt we type javac room area dot java, and it will compile our file. And after that we are able to generate dot class file or bytecode file of this program. After creating of bytecode file, now what we have to do, we have to run this program with the help of Java interpreter. Java interpreter, Java space, then class name, room, area, and then we type enter. If this is room area, then we type enter, and this will calculate the area of room is 200. So in this way we are able to execute our Java program. Now we will continue with this. After that, what we have to do now, now we will discuss about how to accept input from user in Java, or in other words we can say that how to take runtime arguments in Java. So first of all we require to import a package, IO package. There are two methods to accept input from user, by using IO package or by using util package. In IO package, there are predefined classes, data input stream, and buffer reader class, which we can use to accept runtime arguments. In util package, there is scanner class, which is used to accept runtime package. First of all, we will discuss about IO package. In IO package, we import data input stream class. Then we create a class get input from user, and definition of class with start with curly braces. Then we write public static void main method of Java, and here we throw IO exception. This exception throws IO exception is used for exception handling. If we ask user to an integer value and by mistake he or she type float value, then it will generate exception. To handle these kind of exception, we are using throws IO exception in the main method of Java program. After that, the definition of main starts, and we will write three variables. One is integer type variable A, another is float type variable B, and next is string type S. Now we write data input stream class, which is predefined in IO package, and we create instance of this class as input, and we write new to initialize memory to this object input, and again we write data input stream and we pass argument as system dot in. This will describe we are now taking stream from keyboard, or we are taking input from keyboard. Now we write a message which will be displayed to the user system.out.println enter a string. After that user tries to enter value with the help of keyboard, and this value is read by the readline method. We write object input dot readline, and store this into string type variable s. By default, any value read by the keyboard is string type, so it is directly stored in string type variable s. Now we again ask user to enter an integer. Now input dot read line reads integer as a string type value, and we require to convert this string value into integer value by using integer predefined class and parse int method. Now this will convert this integer value into integer and stores a variable a. Now again we ask user to enter float value, and the keyboard reads float value as string type, and again we require to perform typecasting, and we require to convert string into float value, and this is done by the float dot value of dot float value, and this result will be stored in the b variable. And finally we will display output to the user system.out.println you entered string, and this will be displayed with the help of s variable, and you entered integer, and this will display with the help of a variable, and system.out.println you entered float, and this will also displayed with the help of b variable. And finally we close the definition of main method, and finally we close the definition of class, and we will run this program. This program will accept three values: first string value, second integer value, and third float value, and display as output which we enter as string, and we enter as integer, and we enter as float. Now the question is that to perform sum of two numbers with runtime values, now we ask user to enter two integer values, and we store these values into two different variables and perform sum of these variables. Program is very similar to above program, and here we ask user to enter the value of a, and we read the value of a, enter the value of b, and we read the value of b and perform sum a plus b is equal to sum, and we will display output the result is sum, and this will accept two values from the user at runtime and perform sum of these two values. Now we will discuss about input from user using scanner class. For scanner class we require to import util package, import java.util.star. Star means we import all the classes of util package. If we want to access only a particular class, then instead of star we require to mention that particular class name, and then we create class, and then we create main function, and we create object of scanner class sc, and we again pass argument system dot in to accept the string from user, to accept the input from user. Now we ask user to our type first number, and we will read with the help of sc object dot next int method to read integer value, and store this value into integer type variable a. Now we ask user to enter second number, and this second number is also read by scanner class object sc dot next int method, and store this value into integer type variable b. Now again we ask user to enter third number, again we read this third number with the help of next int method of scanner class with the help of scanner class object, and store the value into C integer type C variable. Now we perform the sum of A, B and C, and store this sum into integer type variable D, and finally we will print the sum of these three numbers as total is equal to, and the value of D variable, and finally we close the definitions. When we execute this program, this will ask us enter first number, then enter second number, then enter third number, and it will display output as total. Now we will discuss about input from user using scanner class. Now we want to read integer type value from the keyboard using scanner class. Again we import the util package, again we create a class, again we write a main method of the program, and again we create object of scanner class, and we pass system.in as argument in this class. Now we write a method enter a string, and now user types string, and this string is read by the method of next line. Now we write object of scanner class and call the next line method with dot operator and store the result into string type variable str, and this will read the string. And finally we print the string you have entered and the value of string which is stored in str variable which is entered by the user. And finally we close the definition of main function, and finally we close the definition of our class. When we execute this program, then it will ask us to enter a string, and we type it is a simple Java program, and it will display output as you have entered it is a simple Java program. So this program how to accept string type values from the keyboard. Now we will discuss about the command line arguments. Command line arguments are those arguments which are passed with the help of Java interpreter. We create a class, we write the main method again. Now we type two variables, integer type variables int a and I is equal to 0. Command line arguments are those arguments which are passed with the help of Java interpreter and stored automatically in the string type array of main method. So the command line arguments automatically stored in this args array, and we want to display these arguments. So now we create a string type variable my string. Now we write args.length method to calculate the length of command line arguments, and we store this value into integer type variable a. Now we write the number of command line arguments, and this will be displayed with the help of a variable. So we print number of command line arguments and concatenate with the help of a variable. So this a variable display the length of args array, and these are known as command line arguments. Now we write loop, while loop I is less than a, I initialized with the value 0, and a is the length of argument. While loop runs till the value args array contains value, okay, till the length of array. Now we access the array with index I, args I. Initially it reads the first argument and stored in my string variable. Then we do increment of I, and we will print I means first one, and argument plus the content of that argument which is stored in my string variable. And finally we close the while loop, and finally we close the main method, and we close the class definition. When we execute this program, and this program displays output like this. When we compile this program, after the successfully compilation, when we run this program, we write java space file name, and after that by providing space what we type, that is known as command line argument. In this program, java command line test after that we type Java is very simple language. So Java is very simple language is passed with the help of Java interpreter. So it is known as command line argument. Java is very simple language. These are known as command line argument, and the length of these arguments is Java 1 is 2, very is 3, simple is 4, and language is 5. So the number of command line arguments is 5, and the first argument is Java, second argument is, third argument is very, and fourth argument is simple, and fifth argument is language. Class is predefined in dash package. Math class is predefined in lang package. Answer is C. Buffer reader class is predefined in dash package. Buffer reader class is predefined in IO package. Answer is B. And data input stream class is predefined in dash package. Data input stream class is also predefined in IO package. Scanner class is predefined in dash package. Scanner class is predefined in util package. So thank you so much for watching this.